Hello, good morning, good evening. You caught me in a video, huh? So yesterday I put a little thing out on my Instagram story and I basically said I want to try and do a Q&A because I never do videos for my YouTube channel, never. You know, I'm always doing Instagram stuff or TikTok stuff and I never really sit down and record something for this channel, you know. Which is funny because I like doing longer format stuff. I really do. And obviously on TikTok and Instagram, it clips it to like certain times and whatnot. And I thought, yeah, let's try and do something longer format, have a bit of a relax, have a bit of a laugh, have a bit of a cry. No crying. Have a bit of a laugh and just generally have a good time. Have a really good time. So, a Q&A. Excuse the fact that I'm currently in my greasy John Lennon Get Back era. I need to wash my hair big time. I truly do. Not great, but I don't want to wash my hair and then do this. You can go wait for it to dry and it all puffs up, and then put oil in it and whatnot. I just want to sit down and do this. So let's just sit down and do this. Great. So I've been very productive or proactive, and I saved the questions to my phone. I got a lot, I put it out there. I must have got 200, 250 different people like asking for questions. Amazing, truly wonderful. I really thought it was great. I didn't think I'd get any, or I thought I'd get like 5 or 6. I woke up and they're all there and I was like, wow. But so let's crack on with the first question, which comes from Poppy_7. Do you have a songwriting process? Not particularly, no. I come up, I might have a little idea in my head, or sometimes I don't have any idea. I'll just sit down and I'll think, sometimes a certain instrument really turns me on. I'll think about, I'll sit down and I'll be like, like, if I've just recently listened to like a Mac DeMarco song or something and it's very kind of like, like synth heavy, I'll be like, ooh, I like that. Not everyone likes it, but I think, I like that noise. So I'll go on to Logic or whatever, or I'll grab an instrument, I'll go to the keyboard, try and find a sound that, really jives with me, a sound that I really get down with. And then I'll just, I'll play with it, What emotion, am I feeling happy? Am I feeling a bit more, reflective, So you sort of start playing with something. And then before you know it, you've kind of got the song, you kind of make it up as you go. So I wouldn't say I ever really sit down with a song in mind and I think, oh, I want to make the song sound like this, and I might have a brief idea, I might think, okay, I want it to be a sad, moog heavy kind of, or I want it to be an acoustic ballad or something like that, and even down to like lyrically, I don't really write lyrics before I sit down and record a song. I'll usually do the music or whatever and then do something while I'm just on the cuff, on the fly. So I'll just grab the microphone and I'll have the music playing and I'll be... So on my latest one, the Parisian Streets, it went dum 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 dum, like that. I didn't have any idea for words, I just had the idea. I thought it was quite cool. So then I put the headphones on. I was like, well, I'm feeling a bit sadder, I'm feeling a bit more reflective. Won't see me, don't see me, can't see me, you miss me. And then you think, why don't I just flip it? Won't see you, can't see you, I miss you. And then I like writing about the countryside, and I like writing about alternate places and places to go to find peace. So it's like, way up there in country, that. And I could have easily sung harder on that song, I could have really gone for it. But I left it gentle. I left it as a slower ballad, because that is what the song called for. It called for calm. It wasn't talking to me. It wasn't saying, Sam, play me rough, play me hard. It was saying, play with me gently. Well, okay, right, okay. Next question. The next question comes from Just a Craigular Joe, who says, Besides the Beatles, what other bands / artists inspire your music the most? Now, I'm very niche with who I listen. Well, not very niche, but I'm very like particular with who I listen to. You know, I find an artist and I'll just crank him out for a long time. You know, nothing but that artist, just again and again and again. So the last couple months, really, it's been Mac DeMarco, heavy Mac DeMarco, like a lot of Mac DeMarco. Mitski, some Mitski. You know, I love Mitski. And I adore certain tracks, you know, but I don't play with her whole discography, you know. It doesn't get down on my wave, you know, but I enjoy it an awful lot, you know. I enjoy 40% of the songs a lot, you know, and 60% are kind of like I might skip, you know. But I love Mitski, I truly do. Queen. Obviously, Freddie Mercury. First band I ever got into was Queen. My original loves, my true loves, my darlings, my sweethearts, my dears. Queen, obviously. So, yeah. Let's move on, shall we? Louise Andrews. Louise! She helped me film All Aboard. And she's a sweetheart. Says, how old were you when you started making music? Question mark. Kiss. So I was about 18. I'm 20 now for reference. I never made music before, you know, and I'd never had the idea to. Oh, what the hell? I'd never had the confidence, the opportunity, motivation, not a lot of anything, you know. And then lockdown happened, and I'd been really fiddling with music for a few months beforehand, doing covers of my favourite songs, listening to a lot more Beatles, a lot more Queen, you know. I think the Beatles were more inspiring for me in terms of a songwriting and songwriter perspective, because their music was a lot more attainable, I thought, in a weird way, than Queen. Queen were very large scale, it seemed, you know, very especially as a beginner on the guitar, you know, who couldn't dream about doing some of the chord progressions that Queen did, or solos that Brian May would crank out, you know, or even vocals for Freddie, you know, they were so unattainable. I felt with the Beatles more because the chord progressions, generally skiffle wise, you know, the Quarrymen, E, A, B7, E, maybe the odd E7 for flair, you know, and it was a lot more like, oh yeah, I can do this, you know, and if I think I can do this, then, you know, anyone could do it, you know. I just thought, you know, I like this a lot, and it all just really got on with me, you know, it really did. And I thought, in a strange way, I thought John's vocals were more attainable in terms of an influential perspective, and same with Mac DeMarco, you know. I think they're very unique, but they're nothing unattainable. I would genuinely say I think Freddie Mercury's vocals are unattainable for 99% of people, me included. But you listen to someone like Mac DeMarco, you listen to someone like John Lennon, you know, and you think, I think I could do it, you know, I think I could do it. And if I think I could do it, then why not, you know? Why not give it a go? So I was about 18, just sort of really got into the Quarrymen, the Beatles, and yeah. The rest is history. Mamartha _ says, what is one thing you'd like to achieve in your music journey? Wow. Well, I think journey is the right word, you know, because you're always on a mission, you know, you're always on a road, and that road leads places, and that road is always going on, it's always going somewhere. And I think for me, I'm very much at the start of that road, you know, because you look at some of these very successful musicians that have really had a good time doing it, and they've been doing it a long time, you know, and they still talk about being, you know, in the early stages of their journey, you know, and I think I'm just got on the road, you know. I do. I think I've just got in my car and I've just started going down the road. Or but one thing I'd really like to achieve, I've always said my dream, dream. Two dreams actually, a double dream. My first goal, my two goals. My first goal is I'd love to do a few concerts, big things, big scale things. I don't mean pub gigs. Lights, fog, a backing band to, you know, play my songs so I can move around and have fun. Crowd, you know, a cool time, you know, a real cool time. That's my first goal. That's my first dream, you know, and genuinely a dream. You know, when I go to bed at night, I do dream about it, you know. And I think my second one is to be on some kind of talk show. I think I'd jive with that. You know, I think I'd have a real good time. And you know, they might seem completely unattainable. They do to me, you know, and so if they do to me, they do to you. You know, I'm sure. But and I think, you know, people could think it's silly and whatnot. You know, I think it's a little bit silly, but I'm giving it. You know, I give it a go. I want to give it a go. I want to give it my best. And I say to my grandma, actually, you know, I say, I don't think I could live with myself if I got to a ripe old age, hopefully, and I didn't give it a go, you know, because I'd always just be thinking, well, what if? God damn, it's bright. I'd always just be thinking, like, what if, you know, what if I'd done that bit extra, you know, what if I'd taken the time to do this, you know, and I think I love it, you know, I truly, truly do, you know, I say to people, you know, as silly as people might think my music is, or I am, or anything, you know, I feel like it's my life's purpose, you know, music. I think it's why I'm here, you know, to make music and have a good time making music. It's what I think I've been put on this earth to do for myself, you know, not for anyone else, you know. Whether they enjoy it is one thing, but I get joy and I get happiness out of music, making it and performing it, and I dream about it, you know, I do. Next question. The Sammies _fan account. I got a fan account and I love them to bits, you know. I always message them. When they send me messages, I always get back to them. I always tell them how much I love them and appreciate them, because I do, you know, I do. My music wouldn't go anywhere if people didn't listen, you know. But my first vinyl I ever owned was It's a Kind of Magic, Queen. Hold on. Where is it? I got a whole collection of vinyl. Where is it? Hold on. I can't find it. I do have it here. I got a pretty big collection now, I think. I can't actually find it, but I'll show you a few of the other first ones. So when I started getting into vinyl, Queen was my big go-to thing. It was my big love at the time. So I was going around collecting everything Queen, and I eventually got all the studio albums. But I also got some oddities, you know. So I got I Was Born to Love You, like a Freddie Mercury one. And The Miracle was probably like one of the other ones that were my first, you know. So yes, sorry I can't find it, but it was It's a Kind of Magic, or Kind of Magic. I can't. What's the name of the album? You know what I mean. Next question. Honey Siggies says, how do you get inspiration for songwriting? How does a writing session look for you? Well, I write all of my songs about things that have happened in my life. They're always quite personal, you know, they really, really are. So some of the songs are very personal, you know, Charlotte, some of these other tunes, they're very close to home. Some mean nothing. Mother to Son meant nothing, you know. Jolly Good Show, Kettle Train means nothing, you know. It doesn't have an intimate meaning or a special meaning. It's just an idea, you know, that's all it is. But some songs, Parisian Streets, Charlotte, you know, they all mean something to me, a word. And I love it because they can mean something to other people too. And I think that's a real cool thing. But the songwriting a session for me just looks like this. You know, I'm filming, I do everything at my desk, you know, I've got my mic here, my guitar's back there, but you have to always adapt and improvise and whatnot. So for example, I actually broke the my electric guitar when I was filming the video for Fallen Angel. I lent it on the door to put my coat on to come in. Weird. And I said to Luke, who was there at the time, I said, imagine if my mum opened the door right now. Imagine it, because my guitar would fall and it would probably break. You know, what happens, but door opens, guitar broken. Not that broken, just the string broken. But you have to adapt and overcome. Overadapt and overcome. You have to adapt and overcome. And so like Parisian Streets, the new EP, was all done on keyboard and drum, because obviously I didn't have an electric, you know. So it's keyboard, acoustic and drum. Michaela Sky says, what inspires you to write music? Which is a very similar question, but personal events in my life, people in my life that I've known. You know, I tend to prefer to write meaningful songs, but like I said, I don't always, but I do sometimes, most of the time. I come and over-adapt. Al has 2 questions. He says, is there any musical instrument you absolutely want to learn to play, and would you ever get a tattoo of something Beatles related? Great questions, because there's 2. An instrument, well, I always said, you know, my first instrument I learned was the saxophone. About 11 years ago I started. And I always wanted to learn the violin, but I never did. Because you couldn't sing and do the violin, which is one reason why I kind of migrated from saxophone to guitar. Because you couldn't sing playing the saxophone, but you can playing the guitar and bass, you know. And I think singing is very expressive, you know, whether you're good or, you know, I don't think I'm a good singer. I wouldn't say I can sing. I don't think I can sing. But I think just like some artists, you know, there's a way to express emotion in a voice that you can't get across in an instrument. And likewise, there's ways to express emotions with instruments that you can't get across vocally. But I think that it's easier for me to express a feeling vocally than it is on an instrument, because I'm not that proficient, you know, but I can dabble, but I know that I can say what I want, you know, I can say it. Can't speak necessarily through the instrument, but I can speak through my throat, you know. And if I'd ever get a tattoo, I've always said I love tattoos, firstly. I've always said I think tattoos look great on other people. I don't think I'd suit tattoos, and I think I'm a bit too scared to get one, if I'm being honest with you, Al. But let me know in the comments, have you got any Beatle tattoos? Would you get any more? I don't know. That goes out to Al and everyone else. Also, how was the other side, aka Sassy Sam? Sassy Sam, it's fine, okay? You don't even need to ask. You don't even need to ask! Mauls your corpse says, pardon me for asking, but who's that little old man? What little old man? That little old man. Oh, that little old man. Well, that's my grandfather. It's not your grandfather. Yes, it is. I've seen your grandfather. He lives in your house. No, that's my other grandfather. Well, how'd you figure that one then? Well, I've got 2 grandfathers, and that's my other one. Hello. I love that film. Poppy's Art Prison X says, please look at the drawing I did of you, Sam. I'm on it. I'm going to look at it now. Oh, wow. I love it, Poppy. I really do. Realism for the first time in a long time. Well, I'd say keep it up, because I think it's incredible. You got the nose just right, and the little eyebrow. Yeah. I love it, Poppy. I love it. Thank you. All right, we'll do a couple more. Buller_Ferris659 says, do you think you will get very popular? If so, how soon do you think? Well, there's the question. I think, I would hope, you know, I would hope. I couldn't tell you at the time, you know, I don't know if, I don't know when or if it would ever happen. I would like it to. But I'm happy making the music, and if people want to tag along and join the journey, you know, and have a good time and have a reflective time, then everyone's welcome. You know, I don't want anyone to feel excluded from anything. You know, I stress that on my various social medias. You know, everyone's welcome despite anything, you know. And I would hope that I could gain some popularity. Like we were talking about dreams earlier, you know, definitely a dream of mine. But I've always said music is a kind of therapy, for me at least anyway. So I make the music for me, and other people seem to like it and want to tag along, and that's a beautiful thing, you know. I encourage that, and if that grows and continues, then, you know, continues to grow, then I'll just keep making the music, you know, and doing what I'm doing. And yeah, but I would love to have, you know, obviously I'd love to gain some kind of popularity, but I couldn't tell you when or if it'll ever happen, but I would like it. Joe Mozzarella says, do you plan to come in Switzerland performing your songs one day? Sorry for my English. Firstly, don't apologise. English is a tricky old language. It's my first language, and I can barely speak it. I would love, dreaming, obviously, I would love to do gigs and performances all around the world. You know, I'd love to go to America, Netherlands, Switzerland, France, Italy, Australia, you know, all these places, everywhere, you know. Antarctica. Why not, you know? North Pole. I'll do a performance for Santa, you know. I would love to go everywhere, you know, all around the world and share my music. Whether it happens, who knows? But it's something that I'm working every day towards. You know, it's a goal that every single moment of my day is focused on my dreams and goals, you know, and I just want to make them happen. Or try. Gore Girls says, if you could only have a drink with one Beatle member, dead or alive, who would it be? I think it'd have to be Paul. You know, I think Paul is a huge inspiration of mine, and I think he's got a lot of stories to tell. Not the Let It Be story, Paul. I've heard that one. New stories this time, okay? But, no, I'm kidding. You know, I think Paul, you know, I feel like John would be quite a heavy conversation. I feel like that'd be a bit like you'd just be sitting there like,
I wrote a song for my mother. Mother, you hear me.
Yeah.
And, you know, my children,
Yeah.
my father, you know.
Yeah. I feel like that would be the conversation. But, Paul, Unbuttered Comedy says, what is your favourite song on Magical Mystery Tour? Strawberry Fields Forever. Strawberry Fields Forever. And specifically take 7, I think it is. The one with the original flute ending. You know, that's very quite calm. I think that's the one. And the final question from Heidi Clayton. What do you like to do to unwind? I like to listen to music and watch Netflix. I like to listen to music too, funnily enough. Although I've struggled with listening to music in recent years because I actually I get jealous of other musicians, and I pick at their songs and think, how could I achieve that sound, you know, and that kind of thing. So I definitely actually do quite struggle listening to other artists and stuff, because I think, how can I get that good, you know? How can I get there? But I drink Actimel. I drink a lot of Actimel. It's like a bloody hobby of mine at this point. I don't know why. Demolished. I love Actimel, I really do. But yeah, I watch YouTube. I don't really watch TV or videos because, or movies, because I struggle dedicating the time to them. You know, I really do, because my brain seems to move quite quick, but my body doesn't want to do anything. You know, so it's like a weird mixture. But yeah, I mainly just, I go for long walks. I enjoy walking and listening to music and podcasts. But I go for long walks, 2 or 3 a day, you know. because I'll sit and make music for a long time and I think, oh, my bum hurts. So let's go, you know, I've been sitting down for so long, let's go and get a bit of fresh air, grab a coffee or something, you know. But yeah. And so wraps up my first ever Q&A and kind of like proper video on the channel that's not just like a repost of a music video or something. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope it's been fairly informative or insightful. But yeah, I just wanted to take this opportunity to, in video format, tell everyone who's watching that I love you all, you know. I have a tremendous amount of appreciation for everyone, you know. And I've always said, you know, echoing earlier thoughts and stuff, I want every platform that I'm on, you know, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, anything, I want it to be a safe place for everyone. You know, I don't want any, like, I think I'm very blessed to have a community, be part of a community of people on these social medias that have a lot of love and a lot of care, and peace and love is quite a common theme throughout these things. And as much as we might joke about peace and love, it's true, you know, I value the peace and love tremendously. You know, it means the world to me. And I think the fact that everyone feels so loved and welcome and happy and making friends in this community it's what makes me make the songs, you know. It keeps me going sometimes, you know, it really does. But you're all wonderful, and the fan accounts are just incredible, you know. I could never dream of people making fan accounts, you know, but I love it. And as much as I might not always say it, I do, you know. Sometimes I struggle to say what's on my mind, you know, and that's true in real life. But it means the world to me, you know. And some of the comments I read really make me smile. They make me giggle and chuckle, and yeah. But who knows what the future holds, eh? But until then, I will wish you peace and love, and yeah. I'll see you next time, my dears.